Hey guys, Billy from Ad Support here, and in this video we're going to go over basically how to fix your Hyros tracking if it's not 100% accurate. Obviously they have great support, they have great docs, but it can sometimes be hard to know where to look. So over the years, had lots of times where tracking's broken or something's gone wrong, normally because of us, not because of Hyros. And so I just wanted to run through kind of everything you can troubleshoot to try and rectify the issue. And obviously the reason to go through this troubleshooting tracking issues can be a tough process because often it can be looking for something that's not necessarily there. So all you can do really is just kind of check off things. And so I'm hoping to provide you with as comprehensive a list as I can at this moment. So you can just check all these things, and it should, if any of them are broken, help you get better data. So, and obviously I put here, better data means for sales calls and leads in Hyros, leads to better scaling and cutting decisions, and better scaling and cutting decisions leads to better spend efficiency and a higher ROAS. So that's the reason to go through this process. It's super important. And so, yeah, getting the best data possible is key. And obviously if you're paying for Hyros, you want to be making sure you're maximizing it to the fullest extent. So there's some basic checks to do. The first one is super simple. If I just go back here, so come to your funnel. This I'm going to show you in Go High Level. This applies whether it's ClickFunnels or any other platform. What I'm going to want you to do though is come to settings and place it and at the funnel level so that it's on every single page. Don't go ahead and like put it on each individual page in the tracking code. You want to put it funnel wide. One other note too is that if you're having it fire through Google Tag Manager, I'd recommend that you change that and come and paste the script manually onto the funnel. I found this to be a more reliable way to fire the Hyros code. You'll see I do exactly the same through Facebook. In the past I would have just put everything under the GTM container, the Hyros, the Facebook, the Google the Google code, whatever it is. Now I paste everything manually onto the funnel because I found that's a more reliable way to have it fire and obviously get the correct data. So that's one key thing to do. If you're not doing that already, definitely paste the script manually here rather than have it fire through GTM. I think it's more reliable. So that's it. And again, you're going to want to do that for all of your funnels. So this applies to organic, it applies to your website. If you have pages that are in different funnels or whatever, if it's like a call booking thank you page that's generic, so you have it in a different place, make sure that the Hyros script is on there. If you have a page that you send people back to when they click on an email that's different from the ads funnel, have the Hyros script on there. Basically just every single funnel that is in use within your ClickFunnels or Go High Level or whatever you use should have the Hyros tracking script on it, because that's just going to make it way more accurate. So yeah, again, you know what funnel pages you've got, so just follow that process. And again, if there's anywhere else, double check, put the Hyros parameter on them. So next thing is just making sure it's on all of your ads. So if we come to the ads manager, obviously just click edit on the ads and then come to the ad level, and then all the way down at the bottom there is the URL parameter here. So you need to check this for all of the ads that you currently have live right now. This is a bit of a weird one. Sometimes it just kicks it off, but you should also have offline events turned on as well, because if you are sending events back to Facebook with Hyros, then you'll need to have that selected. So yeah, I haven't got it done here, but you should have offline events selected for all of the ads that you have live as well. That will send it back into learning, or at least back into review. The same for adding the parameter. So I'd recommend that you do it in stages, don't do it all at once, and then just obviously check on the performance. Again, if you're running at like $100, $200 a day, I would probably just recommend that you just do it anyway. It's going to be a positive impact. If there's any issues with the ads, it should only be, obviously if you set Hyros up correctly from the beginning, it should only be a few ads, if any, that are missing the Hyros script. So just go ahead and update those ones, and any negative effect on performance will be made up for by being able to accurately track their results. So it's definitely the cost benefit analysis works out, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So that's everything for that. Cool. Again, there's screenshots here if you want to come back at it. We'll do Google as well. So if you come to a campaign, you'll need to click into it. I always put it at the ad group level. So if we actually go to all, cool. So what I normally do is go to all and then scroll across. So there's campaigns in here that I didn't set up, that's why it won't be there. But what I'll normally do is sort by the tracking template, and then I'll be able to find. So for example, I mean, I know these, I didn't set these up, that's why it's not there, but If, for example, there was some here that you'd missed, you'd be able to see it straight away. Again, come and paste the tracking code, the tracking script, sorry, into these, and just make sure that you've got full coverage across everything. Google is less volatile, so it won't send it back into learning or to review or whatever if you update this, so there's less risk to doing it. And yeah, you should just definitely do it straight away. So that's that one. That's good. Done. We talked about ensuring all offline events are turned on. Cool. So next we're going to come into fixing the page tracking. So for leads, you just want to ensure that there's the correct redirect. The biggest is less of an issue in Go High Level. In ClickFunnels, it's a big issue sometimes where the split test URL is different than the main URL. And what will happen is if it isn't correct, it will go to a different page. So what I recommend that you do is, again, it sounds super simple, but you should just test your funnel, like go view the live page, submit, become a lead, and then make sure that the URL of the VSL page or whatever the next page is, whether it's the checkout page if you're running a low ticket funnel, if it's a VSL funnel, obviously the VSL page, and just make sure that URL is correct and what it should be, and that will fix everything. I mean, to be honest, if you have the Hyros script on all your funnels, that actually won't break the tracking, but I would rather you check it, make sure that all of the pages of your funnel are in the same funnel. I don't like it going somewhere else. Like, you want to have control, you want to have the booking page, the VSL page, everything within one location, and so just check that, make sure the redirect's working, and then again, like I said here, check the split test URL. So these aren't actually lined up, but so what will happen in Go High Level, which doesn't happen here, is that, oh, it does happen here. Okay, cool. So yeah, you see that it says get started there, but then the URL that actually went to was slash opt-in page. So what you need, if this was the VSL, for example, I think, so yeah, this one's lined up. So the one that matters is lined up. So again, if you had that wrong, if it was like VSL page training or something, and then it goes to VSL page ads, that could potentially break the tracking if that's in a different funnel and there's no Hyros tracking on there. So again, all I'm saying is just check the URL, make sure that it redirects into the page you want it to go to after they become a lead. Cool. And then we're going to have to come over to Hyros. I think we're tracking. Nope. Yep. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do here, so when you set up Hyros, automatically what's set up is an automatic call rule. So essentially this is like a catch-all, which is going to check for any forms that are submitted that have the presence of a phone number. And again, like, those will normally be passed through to the URL, and the form data will be on the page as well. So it will check for the most common like phone parameters, etc. And it's pretty accurate as far as judging whether a call comes in or not. But again, it's not 100% accurate. So what I'd recommend you do as a number one thing is, if you use Calendly, integrate Calendly. That will send every single call that's booked through Calendly to Hyros, and that will be 100% accurate. There is a way as well to, if you have client calls, etc., done through Calendly, you can just whitelist certain events, which will be the ones you use for ads, the ones you use for organic, etc., and just have those ones pass through, so you don't muddy the water and have a bunch of client calls, etc., coming through and passing back from Hyros and being tracked. So as a thing, again, if you use Calendly, you need to have the pass event details to your redirected page on. Again, your call tracking would be probably pretty broken if you haven't got that on. So again, something that's worth double checking. If we come back over to Hyros, I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the automatic call rule. So if I go on edit, you'll see here it's got the most common uses of phone number, etc. So it's a bit of just a catch-all, and this is just checking for the UTM parameter. What you can do, which I'll just show you now, is add a new rule, and let's call this call. And then what we're going to do is do like the URL. So maybe it's like slash scheduled, and then I normally just put all variations of it. So if it's like scheduled, I would do that. do the HTTPS version, whatever. Just put all the URLs in. And again, if you're using different callback thank you pages for organic or for email or whatever it is, which I recommend that you probably do, then you'll need to input all of these in here. And then obviously once that's done, you can click create rule. You will need to add a new tag. So normally call is already taken up, so I'll just call it call to or something like that. There we go. You want to click create call product, otherwise this is going to come through as essentially a sale. So technically calls come through as a sale in Hyros anyway, but we want to make sure that it's marked as a call product. Again, make sure all of the URLs are in there, click create rule, and then probably what I would do is just run these side by side for about a week. You will have duplicates. What you will then do is just check which is more accurate. You can obviously cross check it with Go High Level if you're using that, Calendly if you're using that. And then you'll be able to see which is more accurate, and then obviously just keep the one that's more accurate. So cool, that's the plan there. I mean, like I said, if you're using Calendly, just integrate Calendly. That's the most accurate way to do it. Don't be messing about with call rules and the stuff that I've just shown. But if you're using Go High Level, if you're using some other scheduling software outside of those, then you'll want to go ahead and test what I just told you about. Cool. For GHL, just follow the doc. I've given you instructions on how to get to that. So yeah, just go through and do that. I've seen people have an issue with this. So essentially what you need to do is add a parameter within the calendar form so that the redirect, oh sorry, not in the calendar form, in the calendar, so that the redirect form has a parameter on it because it will break if you don't have that. So you just need to go ahead and get that added in. So I'll tell you what, I'll just run through quickly how to do it. Cool. Cool. So yeah, if we can again scroll down to setting up call tracking software, come to GHL. Again, this shit looks different, but this part isn't. So essentially, when you have it redirect to a thank you page, which is what you should have, don't have the Calendly confirmation page, have it redirect to a page in your funnel, which again it should have a video telling people how to access the call, to accept the Google invite, and do all that stuff. That's going to have a big impact on show rate. I'm going to give you credit and say that you've already done that. So yeah, you just need to add this parameter in here, which should be somewhere for you to just paste it in. Yeah, it's here. So cool. So on the thank you page URL, you just need to paste that after it, and that will make sure that everything is passed through and that it tracks correctly. So that's it. And then all the other stuff is just about adding the calendar to the funnel page and stuff, which isn't really that difficult. And then obviously once you've got this set up, if you haven't already, just go through and run a test and just make sure and book a call and just make sure that it's tracked. You will need to go from the ad level. So yes, so I'll show you how to do that quickly. So if you need to run a Hyros test from Facebook, just click on preview, share a link, click on this link, which will then have it show up on your Facebook newsfeed. And then that will enable you, if you click on the ad in the newsfeed, that will take you to a Hyros tracked ad link, and then you'll need to go through, become a lead, book a call, and then you'll be able to see it tracked in Hyros. Cool, so that's that one. So yeah, for DHL it's a little bit more involved, but again, I showed you there, it's super simple. Just make sure that you follow the correct process for that. If you've got Calendly, integrate it. Then another thing that can break it, especially if you've got a bigger team, is not having the setters follow the correct process. So what you should be doing is blacklisting all of your setters emails, or essentially what you can do is just blacklist your email domain. So I'll show you how to do that if I can remember. I think it's in settings. Cool. Yeah, so settings, tracking, and then blacklist, and then you can blacklist IP addresses if you find you're getting a bunch of spam calls from Pakistan, East India, whatever it is. Then you can do email, which, as you can see, they're all in there. You can also do email domain, so that's what I probably recommend you do as a catch-all. And so just basically do this for all. If you have setters, do it for all your setters. If you have salespeople, do it for all of them as well, and add them to the blacklist. Because what will happen is if a setter books a call on behalf of the customer, even if they use a different phone number and email, because the IP address is tracked to that salesperson that's already in Hyros, all of the calls that they set will be assigned to their contact record in Hyros, so you won't have accurate reporting as far as who's booked calls and who hasn't, because it will just show that Daniel has booked 7 calls by himself. If you go into the contact record, you can see that they're the parent for a bunch of different emails, but even so, that is an issue. So just make sure you blacklist your emails, make sure that your SDRs aren't basically taking credit in Hyros for all of the calls. Cool. Make sure that the SDR uses the email and phone number of the lead. So yeah, if they need to use a different email address, that's fine. I would probably just use the same email. What we have setters do for the clients that we work with is post. This is more for sales, but for the salespeople, we'll have them post the email that they booked with and then the email that they became a sale with, so that we can cross-reference those. So that's something that you should do. And like I said, if you don't do this, all calls will be assigned to the salesperson's profile within Hyros, and it'll look like they've booked 8 calls. So that's it. And then for sales as well, we've seen some discrepancies specifically with Stripe, but if you're seeing discrepancies with your sales tracking in general and you have your payment processor integrated with Hyros, what we've done recently is send basically a CSV file of the last 30 days of sales and just ask them to cross-reference it. So we did find some discrepancies, we've been able to fix it. So that's really the process for that. I don't really have anything else to tell you on that, but yeah, essentially if you're seeing a sales discrepancy between what Hyros is reporting and what you're seeing on the back end in your Stripe or whatever it is, then yeah, just reach out to support for Hyros, send them a CSV file of the last 30 days of sales and ask them to cross-reference it against what Hyros has tracked. Cool. And then last one is just tracking all of organic. So this is something really important and something that we've done a big push for clients probably about 3-4 months ago. Well, we wanted everything to be tracked. We didn't want anything to be showing up as no traffic source within Hyros. So essentially what we did was just get the Hyros parameter across everything. So that was YouTube, the YouTube description, the YouTube bio, Facebook, Instagram bio, wherever it was possible for clients to interact with us. We wanted it to be able to be tracked. So there's pretty clear instructions here on this instruction manual, but essentially what you'll need to do is just add the UTM parameter at the end. So you just have your normal URL and then just add this at the end, and that'll enable you to track it. Again, just swap YT bio out for whatever it is that you're looking to track. If it's email, obviously just write equals email. Cool, and then that's the parameter that you need to put at the end of the URL that you use in your follow-up emails and your broadcast emails, whatever it is. Again, you can get more specific if you want to track a specific broadcast or a specific email in the sequence. You could put like email to signify that, and then that will come through to Hyros and you'll be able to see which one it tracked. For some of our clients as well, we do have them tracking each individual video on YouTube. So in the description, the parameter will be the title of the video, so we can see which videos are producing the most calls, etc. But in the beginning, I probably wouldn't go that far. I would just have the parameter be YT description, and that should do what you need it to do. So that's pretty much everything. One thing I haven't put on here that I do want to show you, because I know a lot of people don't utilize it, is the offline conversion. So if you go to integrations, I'll just show you for Facebook, but the same thing applies for Google as well. Come to conversions. So this will probably not be on. What you need to do is turn it on, and then it will give you the option to click the business account or the ad account, sorry, and then the specific pixel. So there can be some issues here with pixel permissions. So you just need to make sure that your business manager has admin access to the correct pixel and that you've selected the correct pixel. So definitely double check the last 4 numbers against the pixel that you're using with your ads. Just make sure you've got the right one selected here so that the events are being sent to the right pixel. Then make sure that these default names match up with what you're using in the account. If you're using schedule, make sure this says schedule and not booked call. Purchase is pretty simple, lead is pretty simple, but again, if you're using submit application or you're using initiate checkout or whatever it is you're using within Facebook, that's what you need to have selected here. So just make sure that the name is exactly matching the standard event, custom conversion, whatever it is that you're using. Because otherwise it just won't match them up and it will just show up as a separate event in the ads manager in the pixel. So you don't want to do that. So again, for us, it makes sense for us to have the lead conversion sent back. Again, if you're running an add to cart, you want to do that. Again, add that. Cool, we have lead ads conversion selected, and then we have event ID collection. And then what you'll be able to do here is open sent conversions, and then you'll just be able to check that you can see that these are all sent. So hide the emails. But yeah, cool. So yeah, you can see these are all sent and it's all working better. So again, Facebook does do deduplication, so it won't really be an issue as far as duplicate conversions, but this will improve your results for sure if you don't have this turned on and you don't have Conversions API set up. So cool. I think that's pretty much everything. Any questions on any of this stuff, let me know, and I will see you in the next one.